Action Figures, Human Figures Part 2. Our objective for this lesson is to be able to describe and use a variety of different shapes and lines in order to create action figures or human figures in motion. Start with the shape for the body and a shape for the head. I used an oval for the body and an oval for the head. I used a trapezoid for a skirt, and I started with some lines. I drew my arms coming all the way up to the top of the head because this person is dancing. I started with lines for the legs that are bent at the knee and ovals for the feet. There are lots of different ways to draw people. Use the shapes that work best for you. I turned those lines into shapes. It's okay if it's not a perfect shape like a rectangle or an oval. There are all different kinds of shapes, some that are called organic shapes. Most of the shapes people are made out of, or animals, those are organic, shapes that are round and not perfect like a square or a triangle. Here's my next person. I started again with an oval for the body and an oval for the head. My arms are bent, one is going forward and one is going back, like a runner. Then I added some extra lines so that instead of just being a stick figure, it was a human figure made out of shapes. Then I added some details to show where he had pants and some hair. My next person, I started again with an oval for the body and a circle for the head. This person's sitting on a chair. Even though this person isn't really in motion, it's an interesting different position that you can draw a person in. The legs are bent at the knee, just like you would be in real life if you were sitting on a chair. Now I'm trying a different way of making a person. A rectangle for the body, a half circle for the torso or the bottom part of the body, and I have my arms up and my legs down, just plain lines. Even though I usually say use shapes instead of lines, sometimes when you're drawing action figures, it helps to start with a line, just like you would in a stick figure. Please still try to start with a shape for the body and a shape for the head. My next person is going shopping. I used a rectangle for her body and a trapezoid for her skirt, which gets a little bit wider at the bottom. I used triangles that were really long and stretched out for her legs, and you'll notice that one leg is stepping back while the other is standing tall. I used simple shapes and lines to draw her shopping bags. Next person is also walking. One foot is forward, one foot is back. Usually when people are walking, one arm is going a little bit forward. This person is walking a dog. I used the same basic shapes to draw my dog. A rectangle for the body. One foot is forward for the dog, one foot is back for both sets of legs. I drew a total of 6 people and one dog, but I want you to make at least 3 people. More is okay. And if you feel like drawing some animals in motion, you can do that too. Use the same shapes. My last person is somebody who's dancing. Whoop, that means I have 7 people in all. My last person is dancing. So both knees are bent and both arms are bent. Now I'm going back in and adding some details. The ballerina dancer has a bun on the top of her head. And I'm going over all of my lines with a black marker so you can see them a little bit better. As soon as you're ready to add color to your people, you can start adding color. Remember to give a color for the skin tone, for the hair, for the clothing that your people are wearing, or for the fur if you're drawing a fuzzy friend. Remember, this is just our time to practice, so do your best and try out a lot of different shapes. The more new types of people you try to draw, the more you'll be able to come up with your own style.